Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services.
This show focuses on sharing good news and powering the good in our community. Now here's your host, City Current CEO, Jeremy Park.
Welcome back to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And we always love focusing on Habitat for Humanity. That's why we're honored to have with us Bree DeMoss, Marketing and Events Manager with Habitat for Humanity Williamson-Maury. How are you doing?
I am doing so great. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today.
Absolutely. You all do tremendous good and you have a lot going on, so we have a lot to dive into. But let's start. Give us a little bit of background, some history for Habitat for Humanity overall, and then obviously the efforts local.
Yes, so Habitat for Humanity's mission, I think many people are familiar with our building homes portion and volunteering. And so that is a nationwide and global mission through Habitat for Humanity International. And through that, we have local offices that kind of operate as franchises. So my particular office is located out of Franklin, Tennessee, and we serve Williamson and Maury County primarily. And so our mission is to build and repair places to call home for local families. We've been around for more than 30 years and we've gone through many iterations, and we are just doing bigger and better than ever. We have a lot of really fun stuff going on, and I'm so excited to share all of that with you.
Well, what makes it successful is the model. So when you talk about how the model unfolds, let's go ahead and start diving in, because it's not just the home. There's also too setting the family up for success to have the home. So it's the financial literacy and it's all the things that go into making sure that they're able to be sustainable with their efforts and their financial independence. And so talk about the model that you all use.
Absolutely. So, like you said, we are trying to set families up for long-term success. We are not handing over the keys. It's not a free home. The home buyer is actually purchasing the home, just like you, I, or anyone else. Our mission is just to make it more affordable. And when you're switching from, being a little bit of in a tough financial spot and renting, and then shifting to taking on a mortgage for the next 30 years of your life, there is some financial hurdles that you have to kind of learn and accommodate for. So our program really focuses on financial literacy. So everyone that comes through our program participates in one-on-one budget coaching. We do financial literacy classes, kind of going over how to, budget for household expensive, kind of the home maintenance things that you might not have to account for when you're a renter, such as like lawn care, if your HVAC has some issues, kind of things like that. So planning for that, really building that emergency fund. We work on improving people's credit as well. So in order to be a part of our program, there are some financial things that we require. But we also have built out this program called the Get Ready program to kind of help people before they're even applying, to get people ready to even take the first step towards becoming a home buyer through Habitat for Humanity. And that's also open to the public. So anyone who is interested in shifting and getting on that pathway, we have that resource available to people as well. And then once in the program, we work with them alongside every step of the journey to make sure that once they're signing that mortgage and getting their keys, they feel confident and that they'll thrive in their homes.
Talk about you all being the general contractor too, and really building efficient homes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we serve as the mortgage lender and the general contractor of the houses. So we are building them from the ground up, and that is a labor of love thanks to our volunteers. And we bring in a lot of different sponsors and construction partners in the area. And so we build it from ground up, and the home buyers are actually out there also working on the home. So they're learning, how the home works, how it's built, all the different functions of it, they learn some handy things, because then you can kind of repair some things when hiccups come up in your house as well. But again, it is a huge labor of love, and we really work to make them energy efficient. We try to be very cognizant of environmental aspects as well. And we have some really great partners who help make our homes more energy efficient. And that also helps with savings for the home buyer, because the appliances reduce costs from their expenses. And it's a big fun project. If you've ever been able to come out and volunteer, you know it's just a joy.
Well, we'll definitely touch on the volunteerism aspect of this and the corporate sponsorships and all that helps make all this happen. But dive into a little deeper on the families that you serve, what they're going through, the ability to offer them both these financial support, the literacy, like those pieces of it, the support network, the keys to the home and having an affordable home that they're able to thrive in for their family with stability for the kids, but also too like the uniqueness of how you structure the loan. And so you've got some really cool nuances that make all of this very special, just like we're talking about. But dive in a little deeper on those sides.
Yeah, so the families that we serve, they typically are falling kind of through the cracks of the housing market. So they're earning a good living. They're working, great jobs. They're just maybe sometimes single parents. So they're not being able to put enough money aside. They're having to choose between, rent, putting food on the table, juggling daycare and childcare expenses. So these are really just everyday neighbors that we see, and they're working really hard to make ends meet. So they're coming to us, they're making too much to kind of qualify for government assistance, but just quite not enough to qualify on the traditional market. So we like to say we're providing a hand up, not a hand out. So they come to us, and like we said, we go through the whole budget coaching process, and they're putting in a lot of work, and there's a lot of sacrifices that go into this. It's not a simple program, and we're working with different government partners such as like Tennessee Housing Development Agency and some other banks that help to take out silent seconds on our mortgages, and that helps us make those mortgage payments affordable for the family. So it's unique to every family circumstances that goes by their income, household size, and we tailor those down to make it something that they can afford and again, thrive for years to come. And once they're in that home, we see them just absolutely blossom. The impact is not just the day they get the keys, that's not the end of their journey. It's really just truly the start. Kids are in different schools, they have a quiet place to study, so they're succeeding in school, their health benefits, they just feel safer and more confident. And really, it's truly a ripple effect that impacts every area of their lives. And it's just a really beautiful transition. And there is a whole lot of nuance that goes into it as well. But it really is a major community effort to pull it off.
Yeah, and touch on that ripple impact because with home ownership is stability for the neighborhood and for the community at large. And I think that's a big piece of this too, is you really are both revitalizing and uplifting community one family at a time, but you're also creating that ripple effect in terms of home ownership and stability for the community at large. So
Yeah.
talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we are seeing a lot of times with rental increases and people are getting priced out of the housing markets. And sometimes we have a lot of families actually who are born and raised in a certain area and the cost of living is going up and they're kind of getting pushed out further from where they live, where they work, where their kids go to school, where their community is. And through homeownership, we're allowing them to put down roots and stay in the place that they know, love, where they've built their lives around. And I think that's just truly a gift. And with that, then the families are spending money in that community. They're not getting pushed somewhere else and having to kind of reorganize their lives. So like we touched on earlier, like childcare, their jobs, just the places they like to eat, go and enjoy on a Saturday night or whatever it is. But they're spending those dollars back in the community. They're putting down roots. They're more invested because they're building the rest of their lives there. It feels more permanent. And with that stability, they're able to, move up in their jobs and that just continues to grow. The kids are on the teams and the schools and it's really, they're putting down roots. And that's what we are all about, is just paving a way to stability and long-term success.
Yeah, this will switch us over into the volunteerism side. What is it like to pass the keys to a homeowner? So what is that feeling like?
Oh, I cry every time. We have a home dedication day at the very end of the process. We bring in all of our sponsors, our volunteers, the budget coaches are there, their family is there, and it's a huge celebration. And it is the vibe in the room is just magical. Like you just truly feel all of the love and the support and the labor of love that took us to this point. And the look on their faces when they know that they're finally home is priceless. Like it is definitely a long journey and a long road for them. Like we said, they're putting in so much effort coming out to the build site, budgeting, like making a lot of sacrifices to make sure that they are prepared for this. And when they know that they've accomplished it, there is nothing like it. And it never gets old. I've done it for 4 years now, and every time I just cry like a baby because it's magical. I wish everyone could come out for that moment.
It also becomes personal. It becomes personal for you, for the volunteers, for those who have invested their time and effort in getting to know the family, but also too, obviously, literally physically helping to build this house. So I think the investment, the emotional investment, the relational investment, all of that carries over. So talk about volunteerism. Let's start there. So when you talk about these homes and how they're built, you've got the sponsorships on the corporate side and you've got volunteers. So touch on the volunteers first.
So they kind of go hand in hand. So when a corporation or business sponsors, or church even sponsors one of our houses, they're paying to play in some ways. They're coming out and they're volunteering. It's typically groups of 20 to 25 is kind of the sweet spot. And you're doing a whole bunch of different stuff. So we were just out there this past weekend and they were putting up the framing, they were painting, they were cleaning. There's varying degrees depending on what your comfortability is. Some people, they do not want to be on a roof. They don't want to touch a power tool, and that is okay. We have plenty of other options. We do have some age restrictions. So typically you have to be 16 to come out to the build site, but 18 to use any of the power tools. That's just for safety reasons. But we also have people who are retired. There's something for everyone's comfortability, something for everyone's age range. We are very accommodating. We provide all the safety materials that you would need. You don't have to bring your own tools. You don't even have to have experience. We're there to teach you. And it really is, you learn a lot out there. You yourself feel very empowered at the end of the day because you're doing things you didn't think you would know how to do. Like I've learned so much out there. I'm like, that feels really cool to know that I did that and I did that for somebody else. But so we bring out all these groups of people and they're from all different backgrounds. And I think that's the thing that is also very powerful about Habitat is you're coming and you're laying your hands on this house and it's not just a one-time transaction. You do know that this is going to be the door that they walk through for years to come. You're putting in the kitchen cabinets where they're going to make their holiday meals. Like it is really just beautiful. It's very powerful.
Well, to your point, you've got the experts. You can have experience, but you don't have to have experience, and all of this will help you get experience. And so,
Correct.
you carry that into the sponsorships in terms of, how much it really takes, the investment, what that looks like. So, talk about the sponsorships that bring this to life financially.
Yes. So it takes a lot of money to build a house, especially in today's market. There's a lot of the lumber, the contractors, the many different pieces that come together to build this home. So we have a bunch of different sponsorship levels and we try to meet organizations where they're at. We have churches who come in kind of on a lower end and it's whatever you are able and willing to spend in order to invest in this home with us. And then we have sponsorships that range up to $70,000 and they're sponsoring the entire house. But it truly is the threshold of that is a lot of our investment as well. So 70,000 is like you sponsored the whole house. That's kind of the cap, but it is closer to $200,000 that we're truly investing to build a home. So we are always looking for in-kind donors we work with a lot of different construction companies who will donate the windows or donate appliances to kind of offset some of that cost. And we are so grateful for every church corporate sponsor, in-kind donor who makes it come to life because it's getting harder and harder to build new homes from the ground up for us, especially with the cost of land and developing that land. There's a lot of rock in Tennessee, as we all know. So any help that we're able to get is really a big piece of that puzzle, every single one of them.
You also have the Restore. And so
We
talk
sure do.
about the Restore.
Yeah, so the Restore helps cover a lot of that cost as well. So this is our home store. It's new and gently used appliances, furniture, home decor, building materials, and that is located in Franklin, Tennessee. And all of the money from that store offsets what donations and sponsorships can't. It also helps cover our administrative costs, which is a really unique model. So that way, when a business or an individual gives us a donation, that is going directly to the home because the Restore is helping to cover everything else, which is really special, I think, and it builds a lot of trust with the people that are so generously donating their time and their money, but they know it's going directly to that. The Restore is so much fun. There's a whole wide variety of stuff. Like I said, new and gently used. We also have some box store partners who donate absolutely brand new stuff from the store. So it's overstock or returns or things like that. So we're very lucky to have some of that. We also have a program through that called deconstruction. So if you are remodeling your kitchen, we will come in and remove all of it safely and for free, and we will transport it to our store. And that's kind of a big money maker that supports our home builds as well.
Yeah, and so that's one of those where the inventory is constantly changing. So keep shopping because all of it pours back in to help power the good on your end. One of the other things you have is the Jimmy Carter Rural Rally Work Project. Talk about that.
Yes, so trying to meet the need of our current community, like we said, the cost of building a home and finding land is exponentially increasing every single day. So, in order to still serve the families in our community, we've developed our critical repair program. So, we go in and we provide major critical need repairs for families who already own their homes. They don't have to be a Habitat homeowner. This is open to anyone in our community. So, through Habitat International, they have the Carter Work Project, and they've been doing this for many years now. It is kind of their flagship build, and it typically goes to one city per year. And they've opened up this week in October, starting October 26th. And it is a week-long project where we are providing repairs in rural communities. So we have jumped on board and we are doing window replacements for a fella out in Lyles, Tennessee. He's a veteran, and we are so excited to participate in this. And it is a shining example of a way that we can still meet homeowners where they're at. So this will provide safety because his windows are currently not able to open. So if there's an emergency, it's not a good situation. And also keep him warm through the winters and kind of regulate, heating and cooling and help with some of those expenses. So our critical repair program covers, HVAC replacements, structural issues, accessibility issues. And this is our way to try to meet our community where it's at.
So we've talked about volunteerism, sponsorships, and financial donations, obviously donating items and shopping in the Restore. What's one other way we can help support your efforts?
I would say to get the word out there. I think one of the major things that people think about with Habitat is they think we're giving away free homes, and that's not the case. So I think advocacy is a huge part of that, and referring people who might be in a situation where they are looking to take that next step. It's definitely hard in our community to find affordable housing. And I think that the more that we talk about it, the more that we refer people who are in need of this resource, the better that we can all be and build more community.
Well, let's wrap up with where we can go to help share your efforts and promote it. So where do we go? Website, social media, where do we go?
Our website is hfhwm.org, and then on Instagram and Facebook, it is hfhwm.
So hfhwm.org is the website. Bree, thank you for all you and your amazing team do to power the good. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services is proud to power the City Current Show. We're a people-first company that protects what matters most, the families, businesses, and trailblazers that keep our community going. As one of the nation's top independent insurance firms, Higginbotham is a single-source solution for business insurance, employee benefits, HR services, and personal insurance that's customized for you. We're here to serve you, the people you care about, and your community. Call 866-377-1959 or visit higginbotham.com.